We know we're gonna when we come back through the order, we're gonna skip prayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, should we just keep going? Yeah. Because it doesn't seem like there's a differentiation. They didn't tell us either that, or is anything we want to discuss with the master? Okay, so none of these. Right.
Except for
But
the
we
DC.
are, yeah, the DC. Yeah, empty all those sizes. I'll take my time. One at a time.
We backpacker out there somewhere.
It's usually only a few of us.
Yeah.
Did the old terminal die?
You can go past it.
And do my best.
It's all good.
That took us about half an hour, 32 minutes. So yeah, if we go back to the top. Seem okay? Take one more minute.
Yeah, let's take a check.
There's a first one in the scene. Just because, yeah, it's. It's sort of.
I would like to thank you for making my time enjoyable. I love that. I seriously.
Y'all gotta take video of the
You guys from the symphony? Didn't you guys just have your 100th birthday?
Saturday night?
Just let you know that I'm stalking you, okay? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can please begin to take your seats, we'll be starting the program in just a few minutes. If you could please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. We'll be starting the program in 30 seconds. Please take your seats. Wait, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Port Authority Police Department Pipe and Drum Band and Honor Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for Port Authority Police Officer Gil Ramos and the National Anthem.
Honor guard, present.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
guard. Right. Face.
Please sit. Thank you. Good morning. What do we think of Terminal A? Well, this is what $2.7 billion will get you. Largest investment the Port Authority ever made in New Jersey in our history. Congratulations to the Port Authority. And I got up this morning, I said, what am I going to say? And I really didn't have much because I think this speaks for itself. I thought about a comment from Amelia Earhart. She said many, many years ago, if you want to do something, just do it. And that was before Nike. So guess what the Port Authority's been doing? As long as Amelia's been flying back in the 20s and 30s, the Port Authority's been doing it. Bridges, roadways, airports, ports, path, you name it, they've done it. This is a continuation of them just doing it. And more to come. Terminal B's around the corner. Bus terminal, 72 new cars at Path, all Jersey. Governor, you like that? This is Jersey. So when I served in the Senate, Senator Ruiz, now Majority Leader, used to come to me and say, when I fly into Newark, into Liberty, I don't feel like I'm in New Jersey. I said, valid point. Gov, First Lady, we've taken a tour today. Are we convinced we're in New Jersey now? Welcome to New Jersey. This would not be possible without the amazing effort, first and foremost, the 8,000 Port Authority employees. I'm going to ask the employees to please stand, and you represent the 8,000 strong. Please stand up and take a bow. The 8 Port Authority employees. This is your work, this is your love, this is your determination. This is the very best of the port. We have 3 very special commissioners here. Commissioner McCabe, Commissioner Martinotti, Commissioner Richardson, please stand up. You represent the best of the best, the Commissioner of the Port Authority. Round of applause. Commissioner Mendez could not be here. He's a little busy right now in D.C. getting his electoral college or whatever they're doing for first-year congressmen. He was instrumental, and we thank him and wish him well in his future pursuits. So with that, and with the Senator Ruiz ringing in my head about making this New Jersey, and we've made it New Jersey, it is my great privilege to introduce our amazing governor, who's been a wonderful partner in this with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. Please welcome our leader, Garden State, Governor Phil Murphy.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all. What a huge day. We'll get to that in a moment. Thank you, Chairman Kevin O'Toole, for not just a very gracious introduction, but for all the good work that you and your extraordinary colleagues do, the commissioners and each and every one of the employees of the Port Authority. Hats off as well to Executive Director Rick Cotton. I was asked why I was growing my hair longer. I said I want to look more like Rick. Chief Operating Officer, and it's his birthday. Let's hear it for Huntley Lawrence. Again, we will not sing, Huntley, but we're singing in our hearts. Congratulations to you. And again, the entire Port Authority team, the commissioners, and each and every one of the folks who work at the Port Authority. And thank you for the work that you undertake every single day to keep our region and our economy moving forward. I'm honored as well to be with a whole phalanx of elected officials, and I won't name them all, but you're going to hear, I believe, from three of them: the great Senate President Nick Scuteri, the great County Executive Joe DiVincenzo, and the great Mayor of the Brick City, Newark, Raz J. Baraka. And all of the electeds on both sides of the aisle, by the way, thank you for everything you do. We're also joined, and she actually had a hand in this. I want to give a shout out to my wife, the First Lady of the great state of New Jersey, Tammy Murphy's in the house. To the many leaders in organized labor, we are the quintessential organized labor state. Bill Mullen is here, Mike Hellstrom is here, many others. God bless. Let's hear it for our brothers and sisters in labor. The construction team, I want to give Ron Tudor, who I've lost here, a shout out. Ron is over here. Ron, great to have you with us, and your wife and the whole team at Tudor Perini, and everyone here who's with us to cut the ribbon and formally welcome passengers in a matter of days into this extraordinary new terminal. And that includes our friends from Germany, the Munich Airport Group, led by Jost Lammers and others. Ein herzlich willkommen. So when the old Terminal A opened to the public on August 7th, 1973, the New York Times heralded the, quote, modernistic crown, end of quote, which its architecture evoked. And at that time, Terminal A certainly appeared royal. But over the past nearly half century, the crown had garnered more than its share of tarnish. Instead of being a symbol of the region that it is the world's cultural, financial, and educational capital, and a symbol, by the way, of the ability of air travel to efficiently bring people together, Terminal A instead stood as an oftentimes trying, occasionally painful, and always exhausting place. So much of that had to do with a terminal that wasn't compatible with the needs of today's air passengers, or frankly, the folks who work there. And as airports across the country and around the world re-envisioned themselves for the future of air travel, the old Terminal A became more and more outdated. So with apologies to Shakespeare, we are here today to bury the old Terminal A, not to praise it. We will save our praise for this new, modern, bright, comfortable, expressive, frankly, extraordinary Terminal A. As Kevin alluded to, he and Rick and Huntley and colleagues took Tammy and me and a few others on a tour this morning, and I've said to several of you already, this building and the experience in this building will literally transform what people think and how they think about New Jersey. It's a game changer. It's a new Terminal A that is ready to accommodate, I think, more than 13 million annual visitors and their luggage, by the way. A new Terminal A that is the largest design-build project, as Kevin mentioned, in state history, and the largest infrastructure project that I've seen completed during my time as governor. A new Terminal A that is expected to generate more than $4.6 billion for our regional economy and directly provide more than $1.9 billion in wages to the women and men who work here. And a new Terminal A that celebrates our state through its inclusion of artwork by celebrated, extraordinary, in many cases, local artists. In every corner, as you can see, Terminal A honors our history and it looks to our future. Yet for all the improved passenger comforts, the acres of repaved airfield and behind-the-scenes improvements that this terminal has, one of the things that is most gratifying is that Terminal A was built the right way. It was built by union hands, first and foremost. And as Bill and I were discussing backstage, it was also built in one of the most extraordinarily challenging times in the past century. It was built through a commitment to diverse hiring practices, from the hands-on site to the numerous women and minority-owned contractors who provided materials and services. And it was built with our common future in mind, upon a foundation of sustainable design with numerous green elements throughout. As much as the details in Terminal A represent our proud state's past and future of economic and thought leadership embedded deep within every piece that went into this building, there's also the values of New Jersey, a state which has long welcomed people from across the nation and around the world with open arms. This is a building that wasn't designed simply to be a way station between 2 points in travel, as the old Terminal A felt, but as a welcoming hub that moves the passenger experience to the forefront. It's hard not to walk into this terminal as we did this morning and instantly think, this is Newark Liberty? Well, yes, this is Newark Liberty, and I cannot think of a better place to say to millions of passengers every single year, welcome to New Jersey. Congratulations, everybody, for a job well done, and thank you.
Governor mentioned 13 million passengers and luggage. We presume both at the same time will arrive. That's what our promise is. Gov talked about his partner, First Lady Tammy, who was intimately involved in many details, and not just in a ceremonial post. She was actually involved in daily and weekly calls and meetings, dealing with picking the artists, dealing with the forests of first as you walked down and you descended with the escalators. You saw those big pillars there with interesting Q&A that we're told the First Lady picked out herself, and also with the gate pylons where there's going to be some interesting tidbits about facts about New Jersey. So on behalf of the Port Authority, on behalf of Terminal A, on behalf of all of us, we thank you for your dedication. This has your imprint on it as much as anyone else's. Please welcome the First Lady, Tammy Murphy.
Good morning, everyone. It is truly an honor to be here on this special day with all of you. Today, we celebrate both the much-anticipated grand opening of the brand new Terminal A and also the end of the Port Authority's 5-year journey to provide travelers with a safer, more comfortable, and more welcoming gateway to our great state. Speaking on behalf of all who have experienced the old Terminal A, I can attest that this is significantly an upgrade. And as the sole woman at the podium this morning, allow me to reiterate the enormous impact that women-owned and minority-owned businesses have made on this project and will continue to have in the operation of Terminal A. As has been mentioned, this is the Port Authority's largest New Jersey investment in its history. And as travelers begin their New Jersey journey here, I think they'll see that nearly every decision was made with them in mind. But the green innovations and passenger comforts aside, I am especially proud that Terminal A is showcasing the work of local artists. And it should be noted that it is the first time in 85 years, not since Newark Liberty was known as Newark Metropolitan, that public art is playing a role in this airport. I was blown away by the creativity, skill, and imagination of artists like Laika Nuna Yawar, seated in the second row right there. Come on, Micah, stand up, take a bow. And Karen Olivier, I don't know if Karen is here, but, Karen Olivier, fantastic. Laikwa Nuna Yawar created a sweeping mural spanning nearly 350 feet. The hand-painted work is an homage to the region, seen through layers of local symbols, history, and influential identities of past and present. Karen Olivier, on the other hand, merged multiple histories and collective memories with present-day narratives and created 2 suspended sculptures soaring more than 50 feet. That's one of them, a picture of it. As we toured the new and improved Terminal A just a few moments ago, these unique permanent installations, along with the many other works depicted throughout the terminal, add more than just a splash of color to the halls of Newark Liberty. They add a true sense of the life and culture of New Jersey. Arriving at Terminal A, whether from the street or from the airline gate, must be a welcoming experience, and nothing is more welcoming than art. Moreover, these works are going to impact everyone who experiences the beauty of Terminal A while traveling. As has been mentioned, we can't think of Terminal A as just a holding chamber for someone's travel, as a point A or a point B. Now it's a place not merely to walk through, but truly experience, as it amplifies the best of New Jersey. Not only will the upgraded and expanded systems and facilities be more efficient in keeping with our innovation ecosystem, but the breadth and depth of New Jersey innovation, art, history, and culture are on display, welcoming millions of travelers annually and showcasing our diverse and inclusive state. As Terminal A proves, when we invest in our communities, we all do better. And together, we are making New Jersey a better place for everyone. Again, it is a real privilege to be a part of today's ribbon cutting, and I add my congratulations to all of those who are involved in this incredible achievement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, First Lady. Our next speaker is literally the most important person, and I say this with some immodesty, Rick Cotton. So Rick has been a partner of mine at the Port Authority for the last 5 years. When we met back in June of 17, we kind of looked at each other, and we actually met in Newark, of all places. He had never been to New Jersey. That was the first time he was in New Jersey. It was in an undisclosed warehouse in the East Ward, Joe. And we had a meeting. We said, what do you want to do? We're going to get along. We're going to build things. We're going to absolutely have the past of the Port Authority be the past. The future is the future. We're going to do it. I will tell you that Rick Cotton is the most unbelievable, the most responsible, the most driven, the most committed, the most ethical, transparent executive director, public servant I've ever worked with in 40 years. He is the reason we have all this. He is the leader of the Port Authority. I ask you to welcome our leader, our visionary, Rick Cotton.
Good morning. Thank you for that introduction, Kevin, and it is always my fate to follow Kevin O'Toole as a speaker. Thank you, first of all. It's good to be with all of you. Thank you to Governor Phil Murphy and First Lady Tammy Murphy for joining us today. Thank you to Senate President Scutari for joining us as well, and thank you to Mayor Baraka for joining us. All of you have been critical partners of the Port Authority's work, and we deeply appreciate it. And thank you to all of the elected officials and community leaders and artists who also have joined us here today. Let me start where Kevin, in some sense, left off. A few words about him as my partner of the Port Authority. Without his efforts, he's been very gracious to me, but without his efforts as well, we would not be here today. Kevin and I do come from different sides of the river. I might say it is not true I had not been in New Jersey before meeting you, Kevin. But I've certainly learned much more and been much more frequently in New Jersey, particularly in the last few months. And I have to say I'm immensely proud, Kevin, of the partnership that we formed. As you said, from day one, we committed to each other that we would focus on getting things done, move the Port Authority's agenda forward, and work for the region. To say that you have been an engaged, anybody who knows you, I don't need to say that, an engaged and tireless chair and partner in advancing and shaping every major Port Authority project, that would be a wild understatement. Kevin, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your support. Thank you for joining in the effort to move these very difficult projects forward. Without you, as I said, we would not be here today. And today is an historic day for Newark Airport and a historic day for the Port Authority. At the top of the Port Authority's agenda is a commitment to build world-class and best-in-class transportation facilities for New Jersey, for New York, and for the region. Now, I will bet that when the Port Authority originally announced that the agency would tear down the old, appalling, widely reviled Terminal A and build a new world-class terminal, I would bet every person in this room either ignored the announcement, laughed at it, or dismissed it as just more meaningless government rhetoric. I hope that you who are here today will agree that the Port Authority has delivered on its commitment to build a new, truly world-class Terminal A. And world-class means soup to nuts, cutting-edge technology to speed travelers through check-in and security, airy, light-filled spaces as we're sitting here today, top-level iconic concessions, many of them local, extraordinary, inspiring, and appealing public art from New Jersey artists, as we've heard from the First Lady, and we have worked hard to create a truly New Jersey sense of place, and doing it all with attention to minority and women-owned businesses and to community involvement in the airport. This new Terminal A represents the work of an extraordinary team of hardworking people, public and private. I want to say thank you to Huntley Lawrence, our Chief Operating Officer, who you'll hear from shortly, to Jim Heitman, our Director of Airport Redevelopment, to our Chief Financial Officer, Libby McCarthy, to our General Counsel, Michael Farbiage, to Severio Leone and Tom Lemanowitz, who are on the front lines of this project for the Port Authority, to Jim Charest, our Chief Engineer, to Jenny Davis, Director of Government and Community Relations. It's all right, you can approve. I'm sure she has a lot of friends in the audience. To Charles Everett, our Director of Aviation, Susan Warner-Dooley, Frank Radich, Jim Gill, and all their colleagues in the Aviation Department. To Lillian Valenti, our Chief of Procurement, to the whole Engineering Department, and to so many others across the agency, it is just simply too numerous to mention. And I also want to say thank you in particular to our private partners, to Ron Tudor and his colleagues at Tudor Perini, our construction partner who built this beautiful terminal. Thank you to Munich Airport Group, who as our terminal operator worked tirelessly to bring this project to fruition, and they will operate the terminal. And perhaps the biggest thank you of all to the hardworking women and men of organized labor who contributed blood, sweat, and tears day after day that was necessary to build this enormous building. So at Newark Airport, a new Terminal A is just the beginning of this historic airport's transformation into a 21st century global hub. Stay tuned. We're not just talking about creating a world-class airport. As you can see for yourself, we're getting it done. Thank you all for joining us.
Rick said a lot. You said engage. What does that really mean? So the individual, and Rick literally has been on conference calls every single day, been here sometimes daily, driving from New York, looking at every detail. And but for that driven spirit, and Joe D., you can relate to that, right? But for that driven spirit, we wouldn't be here during this ribbon cutting. And the other person who has been unbelievably involved, and I'm sorry the governor outed Huntley's birthday today, but it is his birthday today. Huntley has been with the agency for more than 3 decades. He's just been an amazing force. He is known as Mr. Aviation in the Port Authority, and now he's the Chief Operating Officer. He is just an amazing professional, unflappable. He can take all incoming. At the end of the day, he will make sure it gets done. Please welcome our birthday boy, Huntley Lawrence.
Wow. Good morning. And Governor Murphy, First Lady Tammy Murphy, Chairman O'Toole, Executive Director Cotton, our federal partners, airlines, concession partners, our contractors, and members of union labor. It is really my pleasure to welcome you here to the new Terminal A and to congratulate all of our partners for the wonderful work that we've been able to do together. If I may, I'm going to ask the members of the Port Authority redevelopment team to please stand up. Our members of the Munich team, please raise your hand and stand up. Folks from the aviation department, please stand up. Organized labor, please stand up. Port Authority leaders that made this possible, please stand up as well. You're all there. Where's our chief engineer? Our head of public safety. Folks, this is what it takes to get something like this done. And today is such a beautiful day. I've been at this for a long time. And I am very, very passionate, as many of you know. I walk around in sneakers. I'm here all time of night to focus on changing the experience all across our organization. I'm passionate about that because I also travel, and I think about what we put our customers through when they go through our facilities. So this, ladies and gentlemen, represents the cornerstone for the new vision of Newark Liberty International Airport. So Chairman and Executive Director Cotton, I've got something to say to you. I want to thank you for your unwavering support, not just for me and the entire organization, and to not just build a new terminal, but to really set a high bar and to ensure that we aspire to create a new world-class benchmark for a 21st century experience. Folks, when you construct a facility, it's just not enough. That's a building. Our focus here is creating a world-class experience. From the technology to the artwork to the collaboration to listening to customers and people like you, many of you that are often unheard, right? Your voices are not often heard. Well, we listened to you when we were thinking about putting this together. So I thank all of you for that. But this program, ladies and gentlemen, the $2.72 billion program, is truly, truly an impressive effort. Let me just give you the information on this program, the specifics of what we're doing here. You've got 2 LEED Silver certified facilities, from the parking garage to this great terminal. 1,700 spaces in that parking garage, which will grow to 2,700 spaces later next year. A state-of-the-art parking guidance system. So imagine going into a parking garage and being able to find your parking space virtually immediately. 12,000 solar rooftop panels, enough to power the entire garage and consolidate a rental car facility, and the equivalent of 600 homes. And this new 33-gate facility which is almost double the size of the existing Terminal A. A 1,000-foot roadway in front of this new terminal, which is more than 50% greater than the entire terminal, with dynamic signage so that there's space for customers. If you're looking for your airlines, and if you are arriving, you can tell those folks that are coming to get you exactly where you are. And there's space for for-hire vehicles, space for taxis for everyone, and 60 concessions at the full build of this terminal. You've seen some of these today, but let me tell you, those concessions don't say the entire story. There are 6 concessions right at the 50-yard line that represents our commitment to the community, working with the city of Newark, working with the city of Elizabeth to bring in local businesses. And let me tell you something, when I saw what those businesses had to offer when they rolled up that gate yesterday, it was unbelievable. So we're really proud of that and recognize we've got more to do. But it was really, really great to see that happen. 60% more seating in gate areas, 60 common use kiosks. Why does that matter? Because customers can go to any kiosk, no matter what airline, and check in with the latest technology, biometrics, self-bag drop, all of which will be made available. And what the governor talked about, and First Lady and Rick, a true New Jersey sense of place, from the curb all the way to the gate, with partnerships with great local artists like Lakewa and Karen Oliver. Really, really proud of that experience. You passed the 230-foot welcome banner. That's just part of our digital experience. You saw the Forest of Firsts with the 30-foot high screens with all of the different trivia. That's part of the experience. And we, ladies and gentlemen, plan to add more content as we go on. But I'm really, really proud of what we were able to do here so far. But more than 20%, what we haven't talked about is the partnership and how much went to MWBEs. More than 20% of this work to design and build this terminal was provided by minority and women business enterprises, 30% share in airport concessions. So a lot that was accomplished with the fabulous team that I was able to recognize earlier. But I want to thank some individuals that really, really went above and beyond each and every day besides the redevelopment team and aviation. I want to thank Jim Heitman, the director of redevelopment. I want to thank Catherine Cronin, the former program director of redevelopment, Tom Lemanowitz, our current program director of redevelopment, Jim Sterace, Severio Leone, and my colleagues across the entire agency. And specifically, I also want to thank our partners at Tutor Perini and also our partners at Munich International Airport. I want to say congratulations to all of you, and really it's with my appreciation to everyone for trying to make Newark Terminal A the cornerstone of the new Newark Liberty International Airport experience. Thank you very much. So I talked about some of our partners. It is my privilege to now welcome Jos Lammers, CEO of Munich Airport, who has been a partner with us right from the beginning to help us design this wonderful facility. Jos?
Thank you, dear Huntley, also for your exceptional leadership in the terminal's development over all these years. Dear Governor Phil Murphy, the First Lady, thank you very much for the very warm welcome this morning, even in German. So really appreciated this. And well, dear Kevin, dear Rick, dear ladies and gentlemen, it means a lot to us as Munich Airport Group to be here today and to be part of this project for so many years now. Well, knowing about the very special and very close relation between the United States and Bavaria, Munich, Germany. So really, we're very, very emotional and very much touched to be here today. And it's a privilege to share this platform with esteemed contributors of this very incredible project. I'm very honored to be here in person today for Terminal A's official ribbon-cutting ceremony to observe the opening of the terminal. And I would like to really congratulate the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to this very outstanding infrastructure project. New Jersey, that's what I learned. I also learned a lot about it in recent years. New Jersey is known for its pioneer spirit and abundance of firsts. The first balloon flight, the first steam locomotive, the first submarine, the first passenger plane flight, and the first light bulb. And airport-related, Newark was the first airport to have a paved runway, the first airport to have a tower, and the first airport to have airfield lighting. And not to forget, the first brewery in America opened in New Jersey. Well, I think that's worth an applause, huh? That's particularly fascinating for me from Munich, the brewing capital of the world, also in the view of our very own airport brewery on site of our airport. And maybe that's the only thing still missing here, and I look at you, Huntley, I think we will work on this together in the future. So today, history is being made for another new first. We're operating an airport terminal that will set new and unique standards in the US and global airport world. The Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, together with Munich Airport and other partners, have created an infrastructure facility that points the way in the future and to the future. It will yield benefits not only for New York and New Jersey, but also be a benchmark of the entire American airport industry. The cornerstone of this terminal is the strong teamwork behind and between the Port Authority and the team of experts from Germany's premium hub, Munich Airport Group. My Munich Airport colleagues and myself, we are very, very proud of being part of this cooperation, proud to have developed something new and unique over the last 3 years together with the Port Authority. As you may know, Munich Airport opened in 1992. The spectacular move took place in just one night, from the old city airport to the new facilities on the greenfield site. The successful and renowned move of Munich Airport was the birth of our consulting activities and led years later to the foundation of our airport consulting and airport management subsidiary, Munich Airport International. This unit employs today around 180 highly skilled experts globally and has proven track record for more than 125 successfully delivered airport projects across more than 45 countries. And to make a long story short, since its opening, Munich Airport has developed into a well-respected international aviation hub, which has been awarded Best Airport in Europe by Skytrax 14 times in recent years, as well as being Europe's first 5-star airport. A sense of place, a seamless travel experience, high connectivity, ease of orientation and convenience are the hallmarks of Munich Airport. But coming back and coming to Newark's Terminal A, what we find here as well, is the fascination and fascinating architectural terminal concept, which focuses primarily on light, transparency, spaciousness, making it an important component of the seamless passenger journey. With a total area of 1 million square feet, 33 gates, and an annual capacity of up to 14 million passengers, it is designed to offer passengers a real 5-star airport experience. Terminal layout amenities are intended to reflect the history and diversity of New Jersey. This New Jersey regionalism can be found everywhere, in the retail stores, the restaurants, the art installations, and is intended to give passengers a sense of place. We call this concept Journey of Surprises. It integrates all terminal areas in a fascinating digital journey, including innovative digital and immersive elements, and creates an inviting, comfortable, and relaxed ambience. In closing, well, if I were to start thanking everyone whose tireless efforts helped to bring about this terminal, then we would be standing until late. Instead, I would like to highlight those people who drove the project forward at key junctures, and that is everybody at the Port Authority. Thank you so much. And I would also like, of course, to thank everybody in my own team, especially those colleagues on site here in Newark. They were tirelessly working on this project even last night. And as well, I would like to thank our partners, most importantly, all the airline partners and the concessionaires here in the terminal. With the same team spirit of the last 3 years, let us now prove that we can also operate the new Terminal A successfully. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
So now I'd like to introduce the design builder for the new Terminal A, Ron Tudor, CEO of Tudor Perini. Thank you, Ron.
Governor, First Lady, Rick Cotton, Huntley, Jim Heitman, and last of all, my wife, who was nice enough to accompany me to see what I do and why I'm gone all the time. This project is as extraordinary as you see it, but for those of us that have been working as many as 6 and 7 days a week, long hours, to complete it, it's the first moment we can actually step back as we did this morning and say, my goodness, all the work, all the difficulties, all the challenges are worth it. It really is a truly beautiful terminal of immense size, complexity, and technology. And we've probably built more airport terminals than any other builder in the United States of this size and even larger. The most extraordinary part of this is that we overcame COVID, over 1.5 years of decimating our labor force, men off sick, on quarantine, replacements, late deliveries of materials because of manufacturing problems. But the single most important aspect of this was twofold. Our people never giving up, working 6 and 7 days a week. To that end, I'd like to acknowledge Mark Irvin, our General Superintendent, Mike Kirshner, our project executive, Dominic Tornatori, our senior engineer, and as many as 50 to 60 other Tudor Perini managers, engineers, and superintendents. But I'd have to say, most importantly, that separated this job from almost every other job we've built, most assuredly within the city of New York, is the port and their extraordinary attitude. When I'm walking the job regularly with Rick Cotton, the CEO, who's here every week, and Huntley Lawrence, I can't walk the building without running into him, and Jim Heitman, who I talk to on Saturdays and Sundays, along with Jim Starace from time to time. There's never been an owner we've dealt with, and I say that never without exaggeration, as committed to the success of their buildings as the Port Authority that we have dealt with at Tudor Perini. Probably 2 others I've got to single out from the Port Authority that jumped in to help get this across the finish line, or maybe 3 others, was of course Thomas Lemanowitz, the day-to-day lead on the job, Saverio Leone, who came over with Bruno Signorelli, that helped provide the push, the coordination, and the liaison with the port, who otherwise this project would simply not be where we are. This is truly a collaboration between Tudor Perini and the port, and to that end, I thank you. Thank you.
All righty, we're 4 speakers to go, and we're going to have a little local flavor here. So the summer was 2006, Nick, if I'm not mistaken. Nick and I were serving in the legislature, and the governor at that time asked if a couple of us wanted to volunteer our time, suspend and give up our summers to volunteer for this pension reform committee. It was a nice summer, right, Nick? So we spent 2 months locked down in Trenton and came up with some proposals, some that worked, some that didn't. But at that time, I made a good friend, a good mentor, somebody I consider very special. Happens to be here today, our Senate President, Nicholas Qatari.
Wow, that's all I can say about walking into this place. You've done a heck of a job here. To the Port Authority Commissioners, particularly Chairman O'Toole, and to all of you that made today a success. I'm very impressed. On behalf of the New Jersey Senate, I'm proud of what we did to make sure that these commissioners were all seated so they could do the job that got you here today. When Kevin O'Toole left the Senate and became the chairman of the Port Authority, us in the Senate knew that Kevin knew how to get things done, and he would be a great leader for this organization. But he's also put his stamp of history today, along with all the other commissioners, Commissioner McCabe and others. Congratulations on a really great job. And to the governor and the First Lady, your continued support of this project is obviously goes without question. The First Lady's had a lot of hand in design. Obviously, you can see that. Great taste, as always. I'm glad I wore a tie for today's event, Governor. I saw you wearing one. I knew this was a big day. To the members of the legislature, to the senators that are here, you can be proud of what we've done in putting these men and women in these positions to be successful. Very, very happy to see what you've been able to do. Congratulations and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Our next speaker is somebody who appreciates deadlines and appreciates budgets. Joe D's been the county executive since 2002 in Essex, and he has done a lot of construction, a lot of buildings, except he does it a little bit differently, Huntley. When he has a project in Essex, he sets up cameras on site. Phil Elijah, tell me I'm telling the truth here. He sets up cameras on day one. He visits every single day the site. Every single day he has a budget meeting, and when he's at home, he literally looks on site who's there with his timetable, make sure you're on budget and literally on time and under budget. Joe, dear friend, come on up, Joe D., County Executive.
First of all, to Governor Murphy and to Tammy, thank you for your leadership and thank you for always putting New Jersey first. I really appreciate everything you've done. Rick, you said there were some people didn't believe that this was ever going to get done. Well, I was one of them. And then when COVID came, I said, no way this is going to happen. But I just want to congratulate you on the work that you have done to make this happen. On behalf of the city of Newark, which you'll hear from the mayor, the county of Essex, and the state of New Jersey, which consists of 21 counties, we just want to congratulate you, Rick, Kevin O'Toole. He's right. He knows how to get things done, Kevin, and you're doing a great job at the Port Authority. I just want you to know. And to the board members, all the board members, thank you for doing what you have done. This is sensational. And to the 9,000 employees? 8,000 employees. Congratulations to each and every one of you. This is a great day for all of us. You know, and I just want to ask my friend one thing, Kevin O'Toole. Last year, I flew 8 different times, all throughout the whole year. Am I going to have to taxi on the runway till a gate is open? No, we got 140 acres now. You got 140 acres. So don't worry about being taxied. It won't be late. Am I going to have to wait for my baggage about an hour and a half before the baggage comes? We're in good shape, everybody, because let me tell you something. When I was taxiing, the first person I was calling, of course, was Kevin O'Toole, yelling and screaming at him, because I'm claustrophobic as it is. And I was blaming him for everything. But today, you made me happy, Kevin. Today, you made New Jersey happy. Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to not getting those phone calls and text messages at 10 o'clock. I just landed. I'm waiting here for 50 minutes. Joe, we're going to do our best. Our next honored guest, Mayor of Newark. So in this airport, this operation, it creates 125,000 jobs in this region, and you know that, Mayor. Over $10 billion in wages, over $30 billion in economic development. When we came to the Port Authority Port Authority and the City of Newark didn't have the greatest relationship, but we've changed that, Mayor. Working with you and working with your BA, Mr. Pennington, who's terrific. I want to thank you for your cooperation, your partnership, your friendship. Please welcome the Mayor, the great City of Newark, Ras Baraka.
It's a great day. Great day for New Jersey, but also a great day for Elizabeth and Newark. That's for sure. And I just want to thank first Governor Murphy, First Lady, for your commitment to this project to make sure that this happened. And it happened in a way that was as inclusive as it could be. I want to thank, obviously, Kevin O'Toole, Rick Cotton, for the work that you've done to make sure that all of us got to this point. And when I say all of us, I really mean all of us, to bring everybody into the tent together. All of us from Newark, from Elizabeth, small businesses, local businesses, New Jersey folks, into this building. This is incredible. New Jersey has lifted itself up because of the creation of Terminal A. The rest of the terminals look nothing like this terminal. And Senator Ruiz was correct. When you walked in through the airport, when you landed here, you didn't know you were in Newark, you didn't know you were in New Jersey. Today, that all changes. And I am ecstatic about what I see when I walk into this airport. Why? Because Newark and Elizabeth are predominantly black and brown and native communities, predominantly immigrant communities. And when you come into this building, this is what you see. From the artwork, to the vendors, to the people who actually did the work themselves, to the people that are working in this building every day, from security guards, to the maintenance folks, to the people working on the runway. They represent these communities. And that's what needs to happen when we build in cities like this. The people who live in the city have to benefit from its growth and development. And this is an example of that today. The last thing I want to say is when I was on a tour, I had an incredible tour. I waited outside and I spoke to two of the workers that were working here. They were looking up at the building in amazement and in awe and just talking to them, small talk. But that told me that people had so much pride in what was happening here today. This was just not another building, another brick and mortar project that they did to put money in their pocket. I'm sure they were happy to feed their families through this project, but they also were proud of what was happening here. And that made me feel good before I even walked in the building, because I feel proud about what I see inside of this building. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the 311,000 residents of the city of Newark. It means a lot to this county executive, and it means a lot to the state, Governor Murphy. I appreciate the workers and all of the people here today that made this building a reality, that made it possible. And so finally, when people come through Newark Airport, they can feel, taste, smell, and experience Newark, Elizabeth, and the great state of New Jersey. God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Ben Feldman, who has put this together for the last couple of weeks. Ben has not slept in a couple of weeks. Ben, thank you very much. And let me thank my Chief of Staff, Peter Simon. Peter Simon has been living with this as his partner with Rick for the last 4.5 years. We have one last special guest. You know, Mayor talked about talking to some of the employees. A couple weeks ago, I walked down and I ran into a couple of electricians, Adam and Danny, and they said this was the most special project they've worked on in their 30 years as being union members. And when you look around, what you see is, whether it's the steel or the floors or the walls, the lights, everything was proudly done by union labor. And we thank them for their, as Rick said, the blood, sweat, and tears. And representing all of them, every one of these unions, please welcome Bill Mullen.
I appreciate Kevin having me go last, that's for sure, right? Everybody wants to go eat, but I have things I have to say. Any building trades people here? All right, it's only the leadership is here. Would they just stick their hands up, anybody affiliated with the state building trades? Thank you. It is a magnificent, beautiful thing you've created here, Kevin, that's for sure. I'd like to recognize, I'll be very quick, but I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize the governor for his efforts to build this and build New Jersey. And definitely thank Kevin and the whole Port Authority for recognizing the skilled labor and dedication of the men and women who worked on this project. I've said this, and a few other people have said it. This project was completed in the worst pandemic we've ever seen, ever seen. Lino Santiago was telling me that got tested every day when they came in to work. If they had COVID, they were sent home. Was well managed by Kevin and the Port Authority, so it's a credit to them. Just real quick, I'd like to thank Lino Santiago. Stand up, I know he won't. He's the president of Essex County Building Trades for his leadership. And Rich Malcolm, I don't know if he's here. I think he's supposed to be here. He's the president of the Union County Building Trades. He should be here, but thank you for them, for their leadership is the reason this thing got done. Sometimes they get forgotten about. There's 13 local councils in New Jersey in the building trades, and Lino and Rich Malcolm handle it the best of anybody. Just to be real quick, and I'm the last one here, but I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the building trades. Today is Apprentice Week in the country. As you know, the New Jersey building trades, we have the best apprentices, the best training in the country. The building trades itself spend $100 million of our own money for training men and women for careers so that they can feed their families and work with dignity. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention our Helmets to Hard Hat program. We go out and recruit veterans into apprenticeships. Veterans, we all know, deserve more than a handshake when they come home. Right now, there's almost 1,500 veterans that have gone through the apprenticeships of the building trades here in New Jersey. It's a real credit to everybody here for that. I'd just like to say, Mr. Chairman, and all your Port Authority people, keep building, keep spending money, because all the New Jersey building trades do is build. So thank you very much.
All right, that finalizes it. We're going to have the speakers come up, join with the three commissioners. We're going to do a ribbon cutting, and then we're going to have a second ribbon cutting with Huntley, and you're going to have the key staff on that one. So if we could have the speakers come up to the dais, along with the three commissioners, McCabe, Martinotti, and Richardson. Join us. Yeah, but
Great job, man. You deserve a beer after that. Oh. Okay. If you're upstairs, make sure you're phone. Yeah.
Step up. First lady on your three, Paul. Ready?
Yeah. That's all she wrote. Yep. Great job. Joe?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. We'd like to invite you to walk the terminal at your own pace. There are light refreshments being served in the central retail hall next to the Forest of Firsts. Thank you very much for joining us today.